All right, let's talk. Okay, so we started this YouTube channel called Our Tiny Tale, and so I don't know how many episodes we had, but at this point, um, I think that we are. I don't know what we're gonna do about our tiny house. So it's been a big ordeal, stressed out. Um, so what ended up happening is that we did end up getting the trailer chassis to our house, to our rental house, and we got it into the driveway. And what ended up happening is a couple of things. So the first thing that happened is that my grandfather ended up having a stroke, and he has been one of the closest people that I've been a part of. Um, and I just didn't do well, and part of it is because I lost my mother a year ago, and it just feels like I'm just losing the family that I grew up with, and it's just been really, really hard. And so that was I'm grateful that he's still alive, but I mean, he has really poor quality of life. And so it's just been difficult. He can't talk and can't walk. And so it's very hard to see him, like somebody who lived his entire life just strong and independent and always working. And to see him in that place has just been really difficult. And so the second thing that happened is that we just got overwhelmed. My wife has been homeschooling our kids, and you know, like the tear down for the demolition was fine because it was on the weekends, and so we had help to watch the kids. And then we got the thing, and then we had to do contractors with the welders, and they work, not on the weekends. They work Monday through Friday when Sherry's doing her homeschooling. And it just was too stressful. I mean, the guys, they are good welders, but like you really had to like stay there all the time to tell them like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do it this way, you need to follow the plans. And they'd forget the plans, and you have to always tell them. And Sherry was like, man, I gotta teach my kids. I'm here in homeschool. And then we had some other things happen that end up really changing things, which I can't really talk about right now, but maybe we can talk about later. And so all of it was just like overwhelming. And then what really like messed us up was um, really the chassis was never meant to carry the load of a tiny house. Um, when I thought that the cross beams would be enough, but and to support the outriggers, and then what ended up happening is that the outriggers, when you like put weight on it, like couldn't support the weight of a human without bending, and the weight of a roof and walls are much heavier than my weights, and that would have bent more. And so it was just a big like physics problem, and so like it just wasn't going to work. We thought maybe we can get a physical engineer, construction engineer to come help, but like so anyway, so I think that basically, in my opinion, I think that the chassis that we got from the demolition, I think we got to scrap it or sell it. I mean, it's just not designed for a tiny house. And if we had to do it over again, I would I would probably get an engineer to tell us how many, like what kind of cross beams to use to help support the outriggers from torquing over. But we were trying to save money, and it just didn't work. And it ended up by us trying to save money, but it ended up actually costing us the whole project. So, just a key point is that if something was never designed for that intended purpose, then you probably need an engineer to help, like with a structure, to help guide you on how it's supposed to support the new purpose. As opposed to a mobile home, doing a tiny house is different physics and different construction. And instead of repurposing a chassis that was designed for a mobile home, we needed to really be able to get a structural engineer, which we didn't initially. We thought maybe we can get by without him, and or her, and it just ended up not working. So it's been stressful. It's been emotional, and we put on pause. And so I think that we need to just scrap the project, which sucks. And then entered into like the phase of deciding, like, what do we really want to do? Do we still want to do this tiny house? What are we doing? Sherry and I are deciding what to do. And as a consequence for this YouTube channel, we're not posting anything. So what I think we need to do for the posting is that I'm just going to take over the YouTube channel. And the whole idea was that we would have a tiny house so that we could move out to the country and do a homestead. And now all that vision, all that is kind of up for conversation between us as to what's going to end up really happening or not. Do we still want that? So in the meantime, I'm going to actually kind of just take over and show you the homestead I have in our backyard, and some of the things that I've been working on and learning how to have a homestead. So growing your own food, growing vegetables, and then growing your own meat through meat rabbits. And so I'll share with that, and hopefully that might be helpful. But I mean, as of now, it's just ain't going to happen. So cheers to everybody for what I call I don't call it the stupid tax. I call it the like tuition of life, right? It costs money to learn stuff in school. It's called tuition. Well, guess what? There is this thing called life, and this life, you have to pay tuition, and this is basically tuition that we put in. I have learned a ton about construction. I learned a ton about how to design things using computer graphics, using SketchUp. I've learned a lot through it, and it's unfortunate that we never were able to like even get the floor done, get the walls up or any of the roofs or anything like that. So it kind of fell apart with just the foundation. So which is the most important part. Another key point: don't save money on your foundation. If you try to save money on your foundation by saying, oh, well, we need to save money because it's expensive by doing it this way, you're going to regret it. I regret it. So, but hey, live and learn. That's the whole idea of the tuition of life. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.